but he's done, for his story is over, and the dragons are gone.
Hey, welcome everybody. It's Bubba Solo here from Bubba Solo Gaming, and today I'm within my Lakeview Manor in my trophy room, and I'm getting ready to read you a story. This is The History of Raven Rock, Volume 2, for all you historians out there. This was written, of course, by Liren Teleno. Are you ready? Forward. Raven Rock is one of the most interesting colonies of Morrowind of the last 2 centuries. So much has happened to this tiny town in such a short amount of time, and so many lives have been affected by it, I felt it necessary to describe its rich history within these volumes. During my research, I lived in Raven Rock for almost 3 years, and I got to know many of my fellow Dunmer who call Raven Rock their home. I hope that my readers will appreciate the amount of fortitude and perseverance that it must take to endure life in such an inhospitable and untamed land. Well, of course, the author's going to claim that it took so much fortitude and perseverance. I mean, he's a writer. How hard could it have been? Just kidding. I really appreciate whoever wrote this book. Thank you for doing that. Look at that A. It's beautiful. It's a horse. After a few years, the relentless ash storms from the ever-erupting Red Mountain had transformed Solstheim's southern reaches into pure ash wastes, reminiscent of those present in Vardenfall itself. The storms would leave behind deep dunes of ash that made life exceedingly difficult in Raven Rock. In order to protect the town from these drifts, Brara Morvain proposed that the East Empire Company construct a large wall of her own design to protect the east end of town. The company quickly agreed and provided the necessary funds. After almost a year, the construction was complete, and the huge edifice was named the Bulwark. The wall proved to be extremely effective and allowed work to continue unabated in the mines. In 4E16, when Solstheim was passed into the hands of the Dunmer people, the East Empire Company was forced to relinquish Raven Rock's control to House Redoran. The council quickly named Brara Morvain as counselor of their new town and allowed her to rule Solstheim as she saw fit. As a result of this changing of the guard, almost the entire Imperial population left Raven Rock and returned to Cyrodiil. Brara continued to welcome the Dunmer that elected to settle on Solstheim. Some chose to stay in Raven Rock to work in the mines, and others took to more familiar territory and began a nomadic lifestyle in the Ash Wastes. That's more our style, right? The next few decades were the golden years for Raven Rock. Brara Morvain was keeping the peace. The mines were still producing large quantities of ebony, and the Dunmer that lived on the island were happy. After almost 50 years of prosperity, in 4E65, Brara Morvain finally succumbed to old age and passed away. She was interred in the family's ancestral tomb, and her son, Clarel Morvain, took her place. The people who had lived in Raven Rock during Brara's time as counselor were pleased to discover that Clarence shared his mother's notions of rulership. He was fair and compassionate, which kept the people on the island quite happy for many decades. That was cool. That's the history part 2 of Raven Rock. Hey, if you enjoyed listening to that story with me, Bubba Solo, go ahead and subscribe right here, or to watch more videos, click here. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you again.